It might sound simple to a lot of people, but the question remains, what's going on with America? What's going on with these young folks? What is it that is making them to do so many and so much stupidity? And in today's episode, I want to talk about specifically about young folks. Like what's in their mind nowadays? What is it that is making them to do so many stupidity, so many crazy things, so many evil, so many bad things? And you will wonder, what do you mean? Well, I want to talk about what's going on in social media right now. And we see a lot of, even my kids receive emails, um, Instagram message with a flyer talking about taking over places, specifically stores. And we see a couple of days ago how a bunch of kids just getting out of the school went straight out to Bay Plaza and pretty much with a mindset to destroy everything and anything in their way. And it's unfortunate that we have to see this nowadays because back in the day, as a young kid, as a human being, as you know, as poor as we were before, or whatever it might be, whatever whatever the situation was, we were happy kids with no phones, no tablet, no computer, none of that. And we were happy. We were able to spend time together, have fun, talk about things, laugh, jokes, and everything was beautiful. But today's society is accommodating the young folks to live in a way that if you ask yourself, what is it that school is teaching them? What is it that they learning? What is it that they doing to um, exercise this kind of behavior? And it's simple. Everything starts at home. If you're not able to parent your kids the way you're supposed to, in a way that they respect, that they know what's normal, what's abnormal, that in a way that they behave as a human being, in a way that they are respectful to others, in a way that they know what's moral and all that, then you will have a beautiful kids and you will pretty much birth um, things and people for the society to create a better society. But if you're not teaching your kids how to be respectful to each other, how to be respectful with you specifically as a parent, how to be respectful with people out there, outside, with teachers, how to be respectful with law enforcement and all that, then you're just wasting your time. You just birth more garbage to the world, unfortunately. And I know most parents, 99% of them, they probably at work while the kids are in school. But what happened after that? What happened when you all reunite at home? What happened when um you sitting down at the table? What happened when you guys having dinner or breakfast on the weekends, on the Sunday, Saturday? What happened on those moments that you're supposed to teach your kids how to be respectful, how to behave, how to walk in a normal way out there, how to go to school and after school go home and do your homework and do some stuff at home. Phones, tablets, and computers are killing our young folks. That's why they are able to see and do so many things that have nothing to do with with life, pretty much. But they learning how to do bad and worse out there. How can you tell me that at 13 years old, getting out of school, gonna get together with a bunch of other kids with a mindset to go to a plaza, to a store, just to destroy stuff that doesn't belong to them, that they never paid for, that they didn't work for, and it's the sweat of somebody else. Parents have to teach their kids how to behave. And one of the things that I see that is going on a lot lately is that in order to pretty much stand still your kids, you'll be giving them whatever they want and whatever they need. And one thing is to need something and one thing is to want something. All those sneakers, all those computers, tablets, phones, and stuff like that is damaging them in a way that they're not going to add up anything good to the society, but bad things. And it all start at home. How you parents, what you teaching them, how you telling them to behave, how they supposed to compose themselves in front of others, how they supposed to handle themselves pretty much out there. We saw a couple of days ago in Cambridge on Cambridge Broadway in the Bronx, how a 16 years old coming out of McDonald's or Wendy or some of those stores got shot and killed. 16-year-old on his way from school, probably to home, made a stop at the McDonald's or Wendy's or one of those stores to get food. And then a bunch of other kids, they have some sort of argument. Whatever that happened, whatever might transpire, and the end of it is that somebody got killed and other kids got shot. Why do we have to go through things like this in a day society in 2026? Why? It all because we are so busy working, making money to pretty much be responsible and fulfill their needs. But at the end of the day, while we doing all that, we losing something that is very, very important, which is parenting. We're not parenting our kids. We're not doing what we're supposed to do as a parents. Okay, we're doing pretty much the things that are our responsibility as parents. But what about love, affection? What about conversation? What about communication? What about outing? What about trip? What about all those things that back in the day our parents used to do with us that are more important than a simple electronic device? We didn't have no cell phones. We didn't have no computers. We didn't have no iPhones, no Apple Watch. We didn't have none of that stuff. If we ever get something like a watch or something like that, it was a G-Shock. And pretty much most of us purchased them when we got our first job. So what is it that is going on with America and the parenting? What is it that is going on with these young folks nowadays that they're not getting it? America is a camera. Whether you want to accept it or not, wherever you go, wherever you are, you being recorded. And every move that you make, every step that you take is going to be on a camcorder. It's going to be on camera, whether you want to or not. And it's not a crime to be recorded or photographed or be photographed. But that's the reality of life today. And if we don't do something to stop what's going on out there as a parents, we're going to have a more and more young folks leaving the earth early, not because they want to, but because they end up in the commotion. So let's try to be better parents. Let's try to be better fathers. Communicate with your kids. Talk about things that we did back in the day. Talk about things that make them curious about it. Talk about things that we used to do and we have fun. With no cell phone, no computer, no tablet, no electronic devices at all. Let's talk about things like that. When we sit down, let's talk about how the day goes. No phones on the table, no phones watching TV, no phones on gathering as a family group. No tablets, no computer, none of that. Because if we continue to live this type of way, By the time they reach 10, 12, 13, they all be gone. And in fact, if they not gone, they're gonna end up in jail or paralyzed by a bullet or something like that. So let's have this type of conversation with our kids so we could have a better society. So I hope you understand the message. I hope you got it. Do whatever you can do to save our young folks. So thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more. One Under.